Welcome to Arts2envision. I created this YouTube channel a few months ago, and on this channel I will be showing different artistic techniques, also be going to different art galleries, and interviewing different artists. Thank you for joining me. In this episode, I will be showing you how to create realistic clouds, grass, water, rocks. I'm going to start here by painting the sky. This painting is 14 by 14 inches on stretch canvas. It's called Generosity. Now I use a round brush because it's great for creating the clouds. I first pour white onto a paper plate. Paper plate I find is a very inexpensive way to use in order to mix your paints. I dab it gently onto the canvas. Now, there is no water on this brush at that time. I also, on the bottom of the cloud, like to blend it in. So I would take the brush from side to side. The texture on the sails was created by molding paste. Here I am, dabbing the paint and creating the clouds. I use different types of brushes. First I used the big round brush, then I used a smaller flat brush. I also at times use a fan brush. I dab it on different parts of the canvas so it is consistent. As you can see, the painting is coming along. Molding paste I found is a great way to add texture. I used it all throughout this canvas. I decided to call this painting Generosity. It is 14 by 14 inches mixed media and was created in July of 2019. It is part of the painting series that I am working on now called Table for One. Stay tuned as there is an upcoming book about this topic. Whether I am using a fan brush or a round brush in order to create the water, I brush from side to side. Recently, a friend pointed out to me the technique that I use in order to create the clouds, as well as the trees, using small dashes and dots and different brushes, has a name. I enjoy doing it because I just love the way that it creates different texture onto the canvas. The important thing to remember is less is more. I know at times I feel like I get a little carried away with it. Kind of wish I would have stopped at the beginning, but then I kind of fixed it by adding a little more color, using a little bit of that green gold. So here I am using a fan brush, mixing in the different colors. I'm going to start working on the grass right now. That is in the bottom half of the canvas. These are the colors that I used in order to create the grass. Notice how I'm using a fan brush and I'm taking it in small little steps, brushing it upward, like grass. It gives a feel of the grass. This painting, I haven't decided on its title yet. I'm kind of playing around with the title of The Aging Process, because I do believe if you're accepting of one's aging process, then you will have peace, calm, and serenity. I also recently found out that by looking at water, it actually changes the brain chemistry, gives one more of a calming effect. So that explains why when you're looking at water, you feel more calm. If you think about it, your body is made up of mostly water. 83% of your heart is composed of water. 73% is your lungs. Or, you know what, on second thought, reverse that. But anyway, your body is made mostly of water. So it would make sense when you hear the sound of water or you're looking at water, you feel pretty calm. I know I do. Now here I am touching up the clouds using the round brush, dabbing a little bit at a time. Now I also use this thing called texture gel. I bought it years ago at Michael's. I haven't seen it since. I use a little bit at a time, but it actually adds a nice little texture onto the canvas. It's basically sand mixed with paint, so you can actually create that yourself. And many times I do. I have sand, and I mix it just a little bit, and I add a little bit of water, and I add a little bit of paint, and I put it on there. Because I felt that my trees were a little too bushy. I kind of lost its individual color and texture. I went over it again with the fan brush and added a yellow color, kind of spreading it out. Then I dipped my fan brush into the green gold and kind of just dabbed a little bit on top, leaving the space because I wanted to create some negative space, giving time for the mind to just fill in the leaves, making it look more realistic. If you have any doubts of how something looks, the best thing to do is to walk outside and take a look at it. Like for instance, if you're thinking, well, how do you paint trees? Well, the best thing to do is to look at trees, look at different types of trees. Just close your eyes and try to feel the image of the leaves and think how the texture would look. Remember, anything that you look at isn't just one solid color. It's always a mixture of colors. So that's why in my paintings I use a lot of mixture of colors. So I'm glad you're able to join me for this episode of Arts to Envision. Stay tuned for future episodes as I will discuss more how-to videos. I will also interview different artists. I have 2 art exhibits coming up, so I do hope you join me. If you have any questions or concerns, you can reach me at arts2envision@yahoo.com. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you.